So as far as my little 12 volt compressor that I picked up, the portable high pressure air compressor off of AliExpress, I did make a couple of extra purchases. This was completely inspired, if not directly copied, from Brother in Air. If you watched his setup with his portable compressor, I did go to Home Depot and I picked up a nice wooden crate that everything seems to fit into very nicely. Went to AutoZone and picked up this Value Craft uh, lawnmower battery, riding lawnmower battery, and that was, I believe it was something like $28. So the compressor can run directly off of this battery. Um, Everything, the filter assembly fits in here nicely without any issues. The only modification I did make on this side, I mean, it's almost a perfect fit as far as the width of the crate and the air compressor fitting inside of it. As you can see, the quick release attachment is just above the top wooden support here, which is again just perfect. There's no interference here from the wood with hooking up the air hose. On the other side, one small modification I did have to make down here, where the alligator clamps that hook up to the battery from the compressor attach. That's down low on this side, so I had to notch out this piece of wood so that would fit. Otherwise, that wasn't going to fit because of the tightness up here between the compressor and the crate itself. It wasn't a big deal, just used my my jigsaw and took out a little rectangular piece of wood, and now that plugs in and there's no interference there. Now I also bought a battery tender while I was at AutoZone. This was the cheapest one that they had. I believe it was another $28, under $30. The battery was under $30. The battery tender was under $30, but I have used it. Works well. Using the compressor does seem to put somewhat of a drain on the battery, but as long as it's hooked up after I'm done and recharged, there shouldn't be an issue. It's a nice little setup. It carries fairly easily. I went back on the website to see what weight they claim that compressor to be, and they say 17 pounds. I don't think it weighs that much, or it certainly doesn't feel like that. The crate itself can be lifted fairly easily. I mean, I really don't have any issues. The crate itself seems to be sturdy and hold, everything without any creaking or some popping or cracking sounds. I was a little bit concerned about that, but that was from Home Depot. So that kind of concludes the storage setup and carrying setup. Now I can easily, tote that back and forth inside from my car. If I am out at an outside range and I need to use it, I just throw that in the back of the car. I really don't have to worry about hooking up the compressor to a car or to the car's battery. I just run it off of the small riding lawnmower battery that I picked up. Again, this was all uh, from watching the video by Brothers in Air, who did the exact same thing with his. I really liked his setup, so pretty much copied it, and that's what I came up with. As far as the usage of the compressor itself, again, I can't stress how easy this is and how minimal you have to do anything to run the compressor. I did break it in. It comes with a plug for the end of your fill hose hookup. Ran it up to the low end of the green area on the pressure gauge. Shut it off, let it sit for a little bit. Ran it up to the middle area of the green section of the pressure gauge and shut it off, and then went up to the high end of the green pressure gauge, and hopefully that will be a good break-in technique. It doesn't use oil, doesn't use water. It's not, it's strictly air cooled. It's a very low cycling unit. It runs extremely slowly. It fills obviously much slower than my other compressor, but the advantage to it is it's portable. So that's really the main reason for picking up something such as that. Can be easily transported out into your car, taken out into the field, and provide a nice fill-up system without having to, go crazy with a hand pump, which, depending on your gun, works just fine. But getting to the age that I'm at, it is quite the workout, and actually with the Hatsan Bully, with the higher fill pressure of the tank on that being 2.5 bar rather than 2 bar, I physically, I'm not capable of pumping that up with a hand pump to its full air capacity. So that's it. Just wanted to show you that. Again, the ease of this. It's simply hook up the cables to the battery. Make sure that the bleed valve is open. Turning it on, closing the bleed valve, and filling. Shutting it off when you reach the pressure you want. Bleed off the air by releasing the bleed valve, and disconnect the compressor from the battery, and you're good to go. I mean, it's as simple as that. It really is a nice little unit. Hopefully it'll last. I'll keep you updated on that. So that's about it. Just a little copy here of Brothers in Air as far as portability of the compressor and the battery. That's about it. You guys take care and shoot safe.